Hey there, guys, gals, members of the guild. I've been seeing a lot of questions about this on the guild website or group website. People asking where they get their inspiration, how they come up with their adventures, what books do they use for canon, source books, information. Unfortunately, there's a lot of you out there that do not have access to a lot of the old MERP, I.C.E, or even the One Ring first edition from Cubical 7. It's something I wish, which some of the members that we have in this guild work for Cubical 7, so hint, hint, please, if you would, come up with a way to make these available, because we have a lot of people that love this game out there that would love to have access to it. So if you could do that, that'd be great. Just, from one creator to another, that would be pretty incredible. But let's get started. So, guys, I've been reading Tolkien most of my life. Started way back in, I think, my 7th and 8th grade in school. So I've been in these books a very, very long time. I read them yearly in chronological order. I still study them. It's just a world that has a lot of unanswered history to it, and also a lot of stuff that it's so deep and rich. And this is a body of work that is timeless, will always be timeless. We owe everything in the RPG world to Professor Tolkien, as far as I'm concerned. Fantasy wouldn't be fantasy without him as the godfather of it all. But anyway, let's dive in. So some of the things that I look at. David Day, I do use a lot of him sometimes. A Tolkien bestiary. Whenever I want to have a little bit more knowledge about something in a certain area, this is a great reference where I can break down and look at things like bats, wolves, spiders, snakes, insects. You can find a lot of that stuff in here. I got this on Amazon. Great find. Use that. It's good for fleshing out world in your adventures. Another thing that I use for a lot of context in the different world but the different adventures that I put together. I'm looking for small towns, villages, cities, different roadways, different areas. This is another good one. You can find this, most of the time you can find this on Amazon as well. It's from I.C.E. It's the Northwestern Middle-earth Gazetteer. This is a great campaign atlas. This covers so much, guys. It gives you military size, populations, administrative organizations, political organizations, the different rulers, what products and map coordinates. It also comes with a really nice map that helps you out. But all the little places that they've added in Middle-earth. This is a great reference. Again, you can get this on Amazon. I use that. Back to David Day, an encyclopedia of Tolkien. You can find this on Amazon as well. I picked this up at Costco, I think like 4 years ago. But this gives you a great reference to a lot of the mythologies that inspired Tolkien. But also gives you a lot of information about the different places and beings in Middle-earth. A lot of background on characters, places. This is a great reference guide. I use this a lot when I'm looking for certain little tidbits to add and flesh out a storyline. And another thing that you should always have a copy of is the Tolkien Companion. This is a great reference. This is by J.E.A. Tyler. I got this on Amazon as well. This is a great reference. Anything and everything you want to know. Places, names of different people, different timelines. This is a great reference. A lot of people don't have access to, the encyclopedias or the complete works. I have a lot of reference materials for Middle-earth because, again, I'm kind of obsessed with it. Again, if you can get your hands on the One Ring first edition, this is great. I know that the hard copies of these are starting to get a little pricey. And to be quite honest, I think that's sad that people are gouging these because they know you can't get them anymore in the hard copies. I was fortunate. I actually had 2 complete sets of the hard copies. Have to have a backup for your backup, folks. And another one here, the most recent from Free Leaks, of course, the 2nd edition of the One Ring. They have great illustrations as well as great references. The writing is brilliant as always. Francesco is just, man, he's a source of awesomeness in this community, and I really have been privileged to actually get to know him a little bit and speak with him about things behind the scenes. And it's kind of nice to kind of get a peek in on what he is and what it is that he does and why he does it. He's a brilliant guy. And another thing, if you can get your hands on this, you can find these every now and again. Do not mistake a thrift store for just a place for cheap crap. This is where I found these. I always stop in these places a lot, and I'm looking for old books, and you would be shocked what you can find. But the Lord of the Rings role-playing game, it's the source book. You can get these on Amazon as well. But the company that created this, as well as the tabletop game for this, or table card game for it, is Decipher. They've gone out of business, so when you find these things, these are kind of rare to find, and there's one for the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and Return of the King. And they primarily just focused on those timelines, but you get some really good information out of it. So again, what I draw my inspiration off of is in the total world of Tolkien's, and I look for any credible reference that I can find. Another thing that is really good for especially you guys that are kind of inexperienced or not someone who just eats, sleeps, and breathes Middle-earth like I do. Another great reference for online is TolkienGateway.net. It's a wiki page for Tolkien's works in Middle-earth, and it gives you a really good timeline reference. And, like the timeline for the Year of Trees, 3rd, 2nd, 4th, and 1st Age, Days Before Days, timeline of Galadriel, Frodo, Aragorn. I'm sitting there just looking at some of these links that they have. And it's a good reference. So for instance, if you want to go back to the 2nd Age and start a long-term campaign, which I've done this, SA 1 is the foundation of the Grey Havens and of Lindon. And then you can click on Grey Havens. There's a hyperlink for Grey Havens and Lindon. You can click on, say, Lindon, for instance. We'll click on that, and it just opens up this whole page of Lindon. It gives you the geography, the region that it's in, the surrounding landmarks like the Blue Mountains. Of course, we all know that that's dwarf territory. And you got the Numenor, the Westlands, Gil-galad, the Greenwood, downfall of Numenor. There's a lot of history and a lot of things about the Elder Days. The population, what the primary races were there, who governed it. There's just a lot of really good information on TolkienGateway.net. So, just to kind of recap on this, guys, if you don't have access to the One Ring, reach out to me. I have some information on that might be helpful to get your hands on some like PDFs. I have scoured the internet. You can find them for sale. You can find them. There's people that have pirated these things. I do not recommend that. I'm not a fan of that. I think that people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into this need to be paid for it, and I'm just a believer of that. So, if you have them, please don't pirate them. Just reach out to everybody involved with it and try to get permission to just upload it for free. And I've tried that a million times. I have access to these people, and there's too many lines, too many cracks, too many ropes to jump over. It's just not possible. Okay. Again, David Day, his Tolkien Bestiary, an encyclopedia of Tolkien by David Day. These are all found on Amazon. Get a copy of the complete Tolkien Companion. I can't tell you how valuable that is. Northwestern, Gazetteer of Middle-earth. That is brilliant. I absolutely love that. You can get that on Amazon. eBay, I mean, it could be horrible looking, but for Pete's sake, the contents of it, I don't care how pretty the cover is. I want the contents. And of course, you know, first edition, if you can get your hands on any of those, do it. So I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any other questions on specifics and what I break things down into when I'm world building, I have no qualms or problems answering any of those questions. You know, reach out. I mean, we can get in a Facebook Messenger chat or whatever, and I'll be happy to walk through exactly what I do step by step and probably help you even build an intro world. So give me a shout. I hope this helps, guys. Appreciate you, all of you. Y'all are awesome. Thanks.